Good evening, everybody. It's 10:07 where I am. I'm a little bit tired, but we're gonna go through this video. So the purpose of this video is to do two things. One is to use the Nspire to find for a quadratic either the maximum value or the minimum value, which in both cases occurs at the vertex. Okay, so we'll use the calculator to find this point, right? Either way. And then also find the zeros of a quadratic. Okay, so I'm going to use this example, which is a word problem that I went over in class today. But it'll be the same process for any quadratic. Okay, so first thing is, all right, I've got a lot on here, but if we're starting from scratch, we're at the home screen of the Nspire. I'm just going to work in Scratchpad, so I'm going to select Graph, push Enter, and then to clear all this out, we're going to go Menu, Actions, which is Option 1, Delete All, Option 4, Yes. Okay, so now I've got a clean slate, and then I like to push the Tab button over here, which gets us into the equation entry screen. Okay, so our equation is going to be, instead of h, we're going to use f of x, and instead of t, we're going to use x. So this is negative 0.58 x squared. Okay, so let me put that in. Negative 0.58 x squared, right? And the squared button is right here next to the 4. Plus 4.72x. Okay, so plus 4.72x plus 4.2. All right, so just in this window, right, we can see all the parts of the parabola that we want. So, this parabola is opening downward, which we should know because the leading coefficient here, this negative 0.58, that a value, the coefficient of the x squared or the t squared term, it's negative. So that means this parabola will be opening down. Okay, so the vertex is going to produce a max. And then even though this is a word problem, right, and x represents time, we're going to find this 0 and this 0, okay, just to show you how to do that. But you might have to adjust your window based on the graph that you have, because you want to see all the points. You want to see the two zeros and you want to see the vertex. All right. If you need to do that, then what I like to do is just push Menu, go to Window Zoom, and then manually you can control what you want X to go from, what you want Y to go from. But I like it as is, so I'm just going to cancel out of there. All right. So let's find this vertex first, which is going to be where the maximum of this graph is. So we're going to push Menu. We're going to go to, Analyze Graph. And then, basically, we're going to use one of these three. We want, in this case, a max. Okay, it has a nice picture here. So I'm going to select that. And then we're being prompted, you see in the bottom left part of the screen, a lower bound question mark. So this basically means take this vertical line and put it below the x value of the max. Okay, so remember, x kind of determines left, right, so lower in terms of x means left. So I want to position this line somewhere, anywhere really, to the left of the vertex. So the vertex looks about here. I'm going to put my line there, and then once I'm happy with where it is, I'm going to push Enter. If you see, the upper bound prompt has come up in the lower left part of the screen, so I need to just move the cursor to the right, and actually it's kind of cool, right? You can see this maximum moving, and then once we get there, even if we move the line further, the maximum stays. Okay, so you can literally read the number right off there, right? 4.069, or you can click, which I just did, and then it will fix that point. Okay, so that's how you find the vertex. Pretty easy, right? And in this case, the x coordinate is 4.069. The y coordinate is 13.803, and we just have to kind of give the information the question asks for. So question B says, what's the max height the ball reaches? Well, that's going to be the x coordinate, sorry, the y coordinate, 13.80, right? If we round this to 2 decimal places, okay? This 4.07, what is that? Well, that's time. That represents time. So that's the time at which this ball reaches its high point. Okay? So that's how you do vertex. To find the zeros, it's very, very similar. We're going to push menu again. We're going to go to Analyze Graph, which is option 6. And now we're just going to select 0, which is option 1. Okay? It's going to give the same prompts, lower bound, upper bound. So, but we want to be, bounding the 0 this time. So I need to move this vertical line. That looks like the 0 right there. So I'm going to put the line a little bit left, push enter, move to the right, and there you go. So one of the zeros is x equals negative 0.809. Okay? For this problem, where t is measuring time, it doesn't make any sense, right? We can't have a negative time, so we're going to ignore that. But you can see here the other 0 that I've marked on my graph looks like it should be 8.95. So let's just double check that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same process. Menu, 6 for Analyze Graph, 1 for 0. I'm going to put my lower bound there, my upper bound there, and there we go. So this 8.947, right, that rounds to, if we use 2 decimal places, 8.95, which is exactly what we have here. Okay, so that was quick, but sometimes quick is good. I hope it made sense, and see you on the next video.